It's a long one. A process that I'm grateful to have gone through. I think sometimes you need to know what you're giving up to choose to stay, and I did get to know that, and very happy to be back. Longer process than I probably would have imagined, and a lot of people would imagine, but back as a founder, and I'm very happy about it.
You talked about the long process there. Maybe you can shed some light on the length and kind of just how many different teams you may have talked to, and then specifically why then you ended up kind of coming back here.
Yeah, kind of started from like the summer onwards, and that's a challenge that every player has to go through at some point, where you're sort of playing through that and managing game by game and being able to compartmentalize what's happening off the field and still compete and whatnot. But I talked to a lot of teams in the MLS and a couple teams abroad as well, and just still felt like my heart was here, and like I haven't given everything here yet. I haven't won a championship here yet, and still would love to do that. And I think I've talked to a couple of you. I talked to Jeremiah about the process a little bit longer, and appreciate the article you wrote on that. But it's been it's kind of a whirlwind of a year. But happy to be settled here for a little while and help this team get some more hardware in that cabinet over there.
What was the most important thing about, at least for yourself, to do the free agency and talk to different teams? Like, what was it, a validity? What did you feel like was important for you to just have that experience?
Yeah, I think so. I think the process was validating. I wanted to see where my market value was, if it was where I thought it was, and I think that was confirmed for me. And I think the other thing too is players in your career, you don't get many chances where you get to really have a choice, and I'm grateful that I had a moment like that. Some players never get that opportunity, and I had a moment where I really got to choose what mattered, and that ended up being here. So yeah, it was. But I got to know Craig and Adrian better, and I think we both have more respect for each other now too, and got fresh perspectives on myself as well, and grateful for all of that.
Not to diminish your technical abilities, but the X factor of Paul a lot of times is that hunger, that drive, that ability to be in every game. How do you keep that once you get a raise, you get an extension? How do you stay hungry?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a part of my personality. I'm always kind of striving for the next thing, and the goalposts have shifted for me this time. There's new expectations. I have new expectations of myself every year. I set goals for myself, and those are different this year. They're going to be different in a few weeks, in a few months too. So, I think the positive of having a bit of a longer contract is I can, I don't have that uncertainty in the same way, and I think that'll actually maybe allow me to play better. But knowing that I'm here and I can give everything here, and I'm going to be here for a while. But I think the hunger stays. Like, you guys know me by now. I'm striving for bigger things now. And last season was good. It wasn't what I wanted still. I think we have a lot more to accomplish for myself here and for the team. I think we were a better team than what we finished with last year, and I think we're building something good here. So,
how do you go about navigating that transition from whether or not you had high expectations for yourself? The expectations from outside were sort of like, wow, Paul's this local kid who's doing really well, but it's now there's real expectations. Like, you have a real pro contract. You have the organization isn't looking at you as a nice to have, but like a core piece now.
Yeah, I think that's a different place to be in, and that's gonna. That's a newer place for me. I think I've always had this underdog, forgotten kid mentality, and that's shifting, right? I'm in a different spot now, and I understand that, and that's a bit of a mentality shift for me that I'm going to be working on too. But it's a good question.
Is it true that you could have taken more money elsewhere than here?
That is true. money's not everything. And, I still feel that it made the most sense to stay here. I think I'm going to be rich in other ways staying here.
And then what do you feel early on about like the depth chart in your position and what you're going to face as far as competition to get those starting
we've
minutes
got
again?
a lot of depth everywhere. I mean, I think particularly in the attack, we've got so many weapons, and I think the guys who embrace that in the best way are gonna play the most. So that's what I'm planning on doing, and just embracing the competition. I think it's gonna make us all better. I think last year you saw that made a lot of us better. The positions where there were a lot of competition, I think everyone stepped their game up. So I'm hoping that continues for us all, and that we can compete out here and then shake hands right when we come off. And I think we will. We have a really good locker room this year, and we're building on the good vibes that we created last year. So
For minutes and more so understood about what you can contribute? Like, do you feel?
I don't think so. I mean, I think if I stayed here, or if I went anywhere, that's the reality of being a pro. Right? You have to fight every day, and as soon as you lose that edge, you lose your spot too. So I mean, I think I can rely on a lot of some of our older players like that. They still bring it every day. Look at guys like Christian and Steph, and those guys are still bringing it every day and competing like, it's going to use a swear word there, but I decided not to. But yeah, I don't think that's going to change. I have to keep, bringing the best version of myself every day.
You said in the process you got to know Craig and Adrian better. What maybe did you learn about them and learn about the culture from the top down of this club that maybe wasn't as fresh in your mind before?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we had a lot of conversations, and I think to give them both credit, they're both willing to have tough and honest conversations, and I was really honest with them. They were really honest with me in moments, and we were able to find ways to make it work with each other, and I think they helped me understand how they're looking to build a roster, where I fit into that too, and I think we both made some compromises in the process, but I think just getting to talk to them more on, in the contract process and whatnot, and
Can I wanted to ask if you knew Hassani before, or like what's your
I know Hassani a little bit. He's a Corver kid. I don't know if you guys know Corver. It's like a technical training program that I used to do as a kid, and he was one of those kids as well. So I kind of knew him from afar there, and we used to talk about that when we'd go to Minnesota and stuff. But seems like a good guy. Seems like he's cut from the same cloth as a lot of Sounders. So happy to have him too.
Just your
Last one,
thoughts on last one. Just your thoughts on how people maybe responded to, the moment where perhaps you could not be here. There was a moment where the fans didn't know if you were going to stay or not, and there was a lot of sentiment where they really wanted you to stay. How does that make you feel when you feel like the community, you mean so much to the Sounders community?
Yeah, I think I've felt the Seattle love since I've got here, and I can't say that wasn't a part of this too. This community is really special to me, and the fact that I'm one of them means a lot. And so I appreciate the love. I hope that continues. And it's something I'm really grateful for while I'm here. It's something I don't take lightly.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.